What's up, guys? Alex Hoddle here with InstinctReport.com. Check that site out. Check out my blog on Steemit. Just type in my name, Alex Hoddle. You'll find it. Find a picture of me and my face and everything. And today I want to talk about, can humanity function without a government? Do we need a government? Do we need the concept of government? Well, to look at that, what has government brought us? All it's brought us is wars and people who think that they're above us, lying to us, trying to manipulate us. It's brought nothing good for us. Only time a government is good is when they let the people be in charge. So when humanity's doing good because the people are in charge, then what is the point of government? I mean, they say, who's going to build the roads? Well, we're not going to build them anyway? I mean, people built the roads either way. And then what if, this is kind of a weird concept here, but you hear me out. Flying cars have been invented. I don't know, maybe a decade ago, it was actually conceptualized and optimized is a thing. Like, oh, we're gonna have flying cars in the future. It'll be like the Jetsons or something. Now, would there even be a need for roads if there were flying cars? I mean, think about it. There'd be a lot less parking lots. There'd be a lot less, paving of forests and trees and wooded areas and endangered wildlife and all that if we had flying cars. And plus, it'd be a lot more fun. Flying cars can exist. The technology is obviously there. Where if it's like a helicopter or drone-like form, I mean, flying vehicles are a lot more safe than ground vehicles. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And what's keeping us from doing that? It's regulatory things. It's licensing. It's all government bureaucracy. So why do we need the government? All that they have is the monopoly to kill people. They're just the people who are allowed to kill people. They're the people allowed to make wars with another jurisdiction or segment of humanity. It's not... people just don't naturally collectivize and say we should go to war against that group of people unless we're coerced to. And we are coerced to go into war with other people. Edward Bernays... to get people to go along with World War I, which was a very unpopular war at the time. No Americans wanted to join it. But when the government was trying to sell the idea of joining the war in Europe, it was a tough sell. And what they did, they hired Edward Bernays, and he came up with the term. I mean, this guy was a master manipulator. I mean, he was a manipulator for hire. I mean, the reason why women smoke cigarettes is because of him. The reason why we eat bacon for breakfast is because of him. All sorts of stuff. But he came up with the term, making the world safe for democracy. It appealed to the American sense of freedom and self-determination. And that's what is the phrase that sold us into going into World War I, which killed millions and millions of people. It was just unheard of at the time. And now we see all sorts of other wars under the same manipulation, making it safe. Iraq, Afghanistan, and those places are still fucking hellholes. Or should I say shitholes? They're shitholes. Like, you can't deny it. And did we bring democracy there? I don't think so. All we brought was a damn caliphate and a whole bunch of more jihadism. I mean, what are you going to do? And then the latest thing, what we thought would have been a good government under Donald Trump, he comes out and just does a bold-faced lie saying that Assad gassed his own people when it was the jihadis that have been caught doing it over and over again. They filmed themselves doing it. Allah Akbar, doing the homemade mortars and with the yellow smoke coming up and everything, and they're just all happy about it. I mean, and the media just goes along with it. I mean, it's just crazy. But what is the form of I mean, how do we tolerate this concept of government? All that they do is just take our money. I mean, and where money comes from is a whole different topic, but for sake of argument on that side of things, all the government does is take our money and then takes it to buy weapons and bomb people that we don't want to bomb in our personal lives. I mean, if there's a jihadi around every corner, that's another thing. That's why I have the Second Amendment, which is, which is freedom, but that's under attack too. I mean, it's a human right. I mean, to even to have the right to bear arms even be debated is just crazy on its face. And I don't understand how people could even conceptualize having that being taken away. I mean, it's a human right. It's like you're not allowed to, if someone's trying to kill you, you're not allowed to like kill them with equal force. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, there's some crazy brainwashed people out there that just I don't know. Like, how can you explain disarming people? How can you have the moral high ground in that debate? I mean, I don't get it. Anyway, that's a different topic. But the future, I believe, the future of humanity relies on breaking away from this concept of government and centralized control, whether it be corporate or governmental. And they say, corporate control is fascism, government control is, communism or far left or something. But at that point, what's the difference? I mean, you're under control by somebody who has a lot more resources and influence than you do. But that's what we need to work on as a species, is governing ourselves. We write our own laws. We authorize our own actions. Who authorized you to do this? I fucking did. What do you mean, who authorized me, you fucking asshole? But that's where we need to go in order to move forward as a species. That is our destiny. We don't need a centralized control of any sort to decide whether right or wrong. And they say, well, who's gonna, go against, crime or anything? Well, one, if you're under attack from a criminal, you're under a form of tyranny, but just a much more micro level of tyranny than, the government, which does all it can to look legitimate. Having, fancy words and having suits do it. Instead, you have some criminal in raggedy clothes and a knife. But the same psychological territory applies. And crime already goes on. I mean, it's where I live in Minneapolis, it's just going rampant. We're up there with some of the worst cities in America. And you don't hear about it on the news. The governor doesn't say anything. The mayor doesn't say anything. They say, oh, we're doing all we can to do, racial disparity and, blah, blah, blah. But they don't care about the hood. They let the crime go happen. They let the crime happen. They let black people kill other black people. They love it. I don't want to see black people kill other black people. I don't want to see... I don't want to see them think of themselves as black people. I don't think of myself as a white person. And that's the basis of all racism, is thinking of yourself solely by your own race. That's all. Your whole existence sums up to your own race, and that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Your existence sums up to all the knowledge you know, and well, that's the big philosophical question. What is your existence? That's only up for you, yourself, you as the individual to decide that. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Thanks for joining me. Happy to be here on 4K. Got a new camera here, so you get to see all the pores on my big nose and my big bushy eyebrows and every single hair in them. Check out instinctreport.com. That's my website. I write on there frequently. And check out my blog on Steemit. Hope you guys have a good day and everything else. Thank you.